How's it going out there, everyone? W.F.S here, and I have a question for you. Is our history important? Not just our world history, but our fictional history as well. The things that have helped define who we are. Star Trek is a clear example of fictional history and how it is so important to our history. It really is important. Things that have happened in this franchise have impacted so many lives and have inspired so many people to do things regarding science, writing stories, creating movies, and television of their own. Star Trek has been a major part of our history. But is it important to preserve our history? Let me put it to you another way.
People think history is just facts. It's just information about the past, but not me. I hold history very sacred. Sacred. The way the farmer looks at the earth and he holds it sacred. The way a Christian takes the Bible and he holds it sacred. The way a lot of people hold their marriage sacred.
So as you can tell, history, especially Star Trek history, is very important to me. I love film history, franchise history, television, movies, music. It's all important to me, as well as our global history. And it really bothers me when news organizations vandalize or support the vandalization of franchises like Star Trek. Strange New Worlds, and if you followed me on my channel, you'll know that I have said it's a mixed bag. Good episodes, bad episodes, it's okay. But I'm really starting to have a hard time with it, especially when news organizations such as Screen Rant continue to promote ideas that violate the history of this fantastic franchise. Okay, Screen Rant, you and I have gone through this before, but it appears we have to go through it again. Strange New Worlds changes Kirk and Khan's first Star Trek meeting. There is absolutely nothing that Strange New Worlds has done to change the meeting of Kirk and Khan. And I don't give a damn, I don't give a damn if you decided to create a relative, a genetic blood relative of Khan and put her on the Enterprise and try to pretend that Kirk and her had a romantic interest. That's bull, and you know it. Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner's first meeting with La'an Noonien Singh, Ricardo Montalban. In Star Trek, the original series is changed by Star Trek Strange New Worlds. As a prequel, Strange New Worlds introduces Lieutenant La'an Noonien Singh, Khan's ancestor and love interest of Lieutenant James Kirk, Paul Wesley, when he was younger and a frequent visitor aboard the Starship Enterprise. Further, Strange New Worlds has altered Khan's Star Trek timeline, added a new dimension to Kirk's original encounter with Khan. Bullshit. Okay, let's clear the air on a couple of things, Screen Rant, because you have a couple of things wrong here. Number one, this Kirk and La'an are not in love with each other. She, meaning La'an, went to an alternate timeline thanks to the temporal police of Star Trek because they needed her to go back in time. She wound up dragging Kirk from an alternate timeline back in time to stop the Romulans from altering history. And what it turns out they did do was supposedly push the creation of Khan and the eugenics wars and World War III's. They pushed it up a good 50 years or so. Everything that is supposed to happen, they pushed it up 50 years. They fixed that, or rather they stopped the Romulans from doing any more damage. They went back to their time. Well, actually, if I remember the story correctly, Kirk died in the 21st century. She went forward in time back to her normal time, where she winds up meeting this version of Kirk, the Kirk we're supposedly supposed to be getting on the new Enterprise 6 years later, but she's still in love and he doesn't know anything about it. She confronts him in Subspace Rhapsody about it. And he tells her, "Well, I feel a connection to you. I am in love with someone else, Carol Marcus." Gee, that puts an end to this little controversy right there, that part of it. Now, on to the next part.
James Kirk, commanding the Starship Enterprise.
I see.
And your name?
Khan is my name.
Khan, nothing else.
Khan.
Okay, so think about this episode right now. The scene that we're looking at when the two of them meet up with each other. And Khan finds out that only 72 of his comrades are still alive. And then goes on to want to know what the ship is going to be doing, what's going to happen to Khan and his people. He's not thinking about anything else. He is in pure warlord mode from the moment he wakes up.
Captain, I wonder if I could have something to read during my convalescence. I was once an engineer of sorts. I would be most interested in studying the technical manuals on your vessel.
Yes, I understand. You have 200 years of catching up to do.
Precisely.
This is where it really gets stupid. This article is really dumb. Khan could have used his access to the Enterprise computers to learn all about the starship's history. However, Khan likely did not learn about La'an Noonien Singh serving aboard the Enterprise under Captain Christopher Pike. Spock told Kirk that Khan was interested in the technical schematics of the Enterprise since he was planning to hijack it. Okay, let's stop right there. Number one, Spock didn't tell Kirk he was studying the schematics. Khan said it. You just heard it. Captain, I was wondering if I could have something to read. I was once an engineer of sorts, and I would be most interested in studying the technical manuals of your vessel. The writer of this article doesn't even know the episodes that he's referring to. For the love of God, this article drives me up the wall. Right here is more proof that the writer of this article doesn't know Star Trek history. Star Trek Strange New Worlds may also provide a retconned explanation for the painting of Khan in Star Trek the original series Space Seed, as the Enterprise historian Lieutenant Marla McGivers has many works of antiquity in her quarters, as one of them is a painting of La'an Noonien Singh. Khan is even impressed and flattered by Marla owning a blast from the past. At the beginning of Space Seed, we see Marla in her uniform, but also with some protective paint gear on and paint brushes. And oh gee, we have pictures in her quarters of unpainted works that she has done. She doesn't own antiquities from the past. She makes them. This person has no idea what the hell this episode is even saying.
All bold men from the past. Richard, Leif Erikson, Napoleon. A hobby of yours, such men? I am honored. Thank you.
Does that look like something that's ancient? She painted that. Recently, you can tell by the way the drawings is and how fresh that paint is. It was recently done. I said at the beginning of the video that history is important to me, and Star Trek history is not only important to me, but it's important to a lot of people around the world. Star Trek is a phenomenon that should be respected. What Strange New Worlds has done and what Screen Rant is pushing is, as far as I'm concerned, completely disrespectful. Khan is an amazing character, and now Screen Rant is going to try and push this idea on us that Khan's history and La'an's history are tied into why Kirk does not send him to a penal colony and doesn't sentence him to death. He sends him to SETI Alpha 5 out of memory of La'an because of the time they shared and And further in the article, it wants us to believe that there may be a relationship involved. But in season 2, Kirk makes it abundantly clear in Strange New Worlds. Let me be very clear. In Strange New Worlds, season 2, in Subspace Rhapsody, Kirk makes it abundantly clear to La'an that while he feels a connection to her, he is not in love with her, and he has a relationship with Carol Marcus. You know, they're trying to tie Space Seed and the Wrath of Khan into this. And I really wish that Screen Rant would quit trying to make something out of this. We don't want it, we don't like it, and it needs to stop. In fact, I saw an article recently that talked about the idea that maybe somewhere in this coming up season that La'an may be killed off. Wouldn't bother me a bit. I think this character is pointless and does the show no good. But I'm going to end the video right here. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on this. So please drop those comments below and let me know. And until the next time, my friends, God bless.